What's up, what's up, what's up, YouTube? It's your girl Nikki, and I am back. How y'all doing on this marvelous Tuesday? Y'all, I really do need to start doing some more construction things because my days running together sometimes with me. So I don't be knowing what day it is sometimes. Like, yeah, your girl got to get to it. But, I hope y'all doing all right. I was supposed to make this video yesterday or this morning, probably in the wee hours. Y'all know how I like to come to y'all, talk to y'all in the wee hours of the morning when I wake up. But I just wanted to wait simply because I wanted my husband to sleep and I wanted my sister to sleep. So I wanted them to be gone out the house before I make this video. But I was listening to my girl Shantia Deja. She had a word for me. And y'all, when I tell you, I don't be knowing, I be feeling like these people be looking into my life, but I think, we all go through the same thing. So it's not necessarily just me, but it's me. Like when in her video, she do ask you, you know what I'm saying, you feel like the word that she had gave is for you. And it's almost 9 times out of 10, the word that she gave was for me. And I promise y'all, in this season, right here that I'm in, her video yesterday was, it's not about how much you give, it's about how much you keep. So at first, I didn't really, understand what it was that she was pretty much saying. But until I listened to that word, and when I tell y'all, it hit home. It hit home because I told y'all how the person that I am today, I always, it's like to me, I felt like I owed people things simply because when I didn't have it, what I did have, people helped me with. I could say that. Probably not with everything, but with some things. And I would say, I'm just say what I said. Probably not with everything, but with some things. People did help me with. Like I had a child young, so of course I had to have help with that. Um, and I barely knew how to take care of myself, so of course I had to have help with that. Like it was a lot of things, what I'm saying, that I had to have help with growing up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at some point I felt like I owed people things. You know what I'm saying? It was like I had to give myself because I felt like I owed it. You know what I'm saying? I had to repay people for all the things that they did for me. You know what I'm saying? So and I feel like at certain points in your life you don't just take. You have to give sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like I have gave. It's really been a long time coming. I've been giving since I was like 27 years old. I'm 37. I'll be 38 this year. Almost 40 years old. So, I feel like I have gave enough. I really do. I really do. And y'all, in that video, it was just, saying stop people pleasing and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know if I think I did mention about, it's like a party that I think I did mention that it's coming up, and I've been debating about this party, and honestly this video solidified the fact that I did not need to go to this party, simply because y'all, it is my family, but at the same time everybody's not on the same page as me. I would say everybody's not on the same page as me, and I don't want to find myself in places where, like in her video, she's like, why are you still, not just her, it's other people, why are you around people that devalue you, that don't even value you? Why you keep being in places where people done made up their mind about who you is, and you know what I'm saying, just all kind of stuff like that. And I'm like, these words are for me, because why would I keep showing up for people who only seen me as that broken individual back in the day? Like they only see me for what they could help me with, what they helped me with, and now and like I said, I helped throughout the years too. But regardless, it seems like regardless of what I've done for people, people don't see that. People are only seeing the help that they do for me. You know what I'm saying? And even people who ain't even really just been in my life for a long period of time feel like they gave me some weed or something when I was smoking, or you know what I'm saying, bought a wine cooler or something. Never paid a bill. You know what I'm saying? Probably helped me move some furniture or something like that. But never just, to me, what people miss out on help at is being that shoulder that somebody can lean on when they need somebody to talk to. Because you can help financially all day, you know what I'm saying, if that's what you do. You can help somebody move furniture all day if that's what you do. But it's hard to try to connect with people and be that person that looks beyond themselves and try to be motivation for somebody else. Like to me, my family lack that. And not only do they lack that, but I won't say they fully lack it because I feel like it's depending on who they like. Honestly, with me, like I've always said, y'all, regardless of what I've been through with anybody in my family, there's really nobody that I dislike or nobody that I can't come from whatever space we was in to making things better. It's nobody that I can't do that with because I'm not a person that carries hate in their heart. I'm not a person I like to me, y'all, like I've said 1,000 times before. I lost my mom. My mom was the closest thing, even though I was not living with her, regardless of anything, I would have never thought that she wouldn't be here today. I chose to live with my dad at that time. Probably wasn't the best decision that I should have made simply because if I would have known that my mom was going to be taken from me, then I would have chose to live with my mom all day. But connected to my mom, I can't say, y'all, it was a lot of struggle. It was a lot of struggle. Like my mom, I don't blame her for anything she wasn't able to give us or do for us. I do not blame her. But the situation now has taught me a valuable lesson about, y'all, I would have slept on the floor at my grandmama's house staying with my mama had I known my mama was going to be taken from me. I wasn't around her every day going to school and stuff at that period of time simply because we was moving and we had to live with she was living with my grandmama, and if I would have been living with my grandma, I think the house was only a 2-bedroom house, and y'all know how black people is, it'd be a whole bunch of people living in one house. And I chose to live with my dad at the time because it was more structure, and it was something that I wasn't used to. Like I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I was growing closer to the structure that my dad was living in at the time. Like the home cooked meals at night. You know what I'm saying? The people who wasn't just, you know what I'm saying, partying, because my mom did get to a point where, things was getting a little harder, you know what I'm saying? But my mom was still young and want to live her life and stuff like that. So she was still out. She was out doing what she wanted to do. She wasn't just at home all the time, you know what I'm saying? But living with my dad, the woman that he was with at the time, she was more she had more structure. I would say that she just had more structure, and she introduced me to a different part of life. And I cannot take that from what she introduced me to. And I don't fault my mama for anything. Like, I don't. It just made me realize that sometimes material things are not. If I had to go hungry, I probably would have chose my mama. If my mom, like, it just, the struggle that I went through with my mom, I felt like I would have still chose to go through it had I known that she was gonna be gone. Like, that she was gonna leave this earth. I would have chose to still struggle with my mom rather than living in a house that had structure. Like, that was just it. That was just it. But I had a choice, and I chose not to. And And this is pretty much the result of, you know what I'm saying? But being that, with all of that being said, my life still went peaches and cream even when I made that decision. You know what I'm saying? My life, it hasn't been peaches and cream. Lost my mom, got pregnant, you know, and then talking to different men, you know, going to school, but then I dropped out, but I did go back. And shoot, I could have got a free education, but I dropped out. I was in the 11th grade, had all my credits. I could have graduated. You know what I'm saying? But I just wasn't focused on it. Started working at a restaurant job, thinking that that's what I needed in my life, which if I didn't work, I didn't have, because nobody else was just providing for me financially at that time. Because I started living with my grandmama, my sister, you know what I'm saying? My sister was young, she was doing what she wanted to do. My brother was young, like we all was young. My sister um in her 20s, I would say. And she didn't have no kids, you know what I'm saying? So she was used to pretty much, you know, living a free life. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, really just take on the responsibility of us. Like, if I didn't have no clothes, I ain't have no clothes. I could say my brother did try to buy me a couple outfits before, but if I didn't work, I didn't have. And my dad did provide for me for a couple times, you know what I'm saying, with school clothes and stuff like that. But if I didn't work, I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? And I just chose, you know what I'm saying, the material things. I chose structure, trying to have structure over, you know what I'm saying, living with my mom. But like I said, the video, it just, knowing who I am today, it validates me and let me know I have done enough. I have literally done enough. I don't have to say yes to nobody else, because y'all, I really have to focus on myself. You really gotta choose you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't I would say that, but what I lack from my family is, you can choose you and still help others. You know what I'm saying? You can choose you, and when you do help others, it ain't gotta be outside of, like, you ain't gotta go above and beyond. If it's something small, whatever, and you choose, and you know what I'm saying, and somebody need help, fine. That's nothing. But if you feel like you have to go above and beyond and go out of yourself to try to help somebody, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. I'm just happy, you know. I know that once I get my structure, once I start actually doing something in my life, I know that I'm gonna have to choose me, because I'm not gonna not do what I gotta do for me to do something for somebody else. Like, I feel like people used to me not working now, baby. It's been too long. It's been too long. It's gonna be almost a year in June since I've had a job, and I want a job. It's just that I want what I want, and I don't want to settle for nothing that I have to go outside of really who I am and who I want to be. Like, I'm just tired of settling. I'm tired of settling. So it's like grind time. It's grind time for me. Like, praying time, getting closer to God, and grind time. Partying, especially with people who, first of all, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm not trying to and being in rooms with people really just judge me, you know what I'm saying? And people can smile in your face, but the whole time behind your back they talking. Like, and it shows. Like, you will know somebody who really mess with you by how they treat you. I done had numerous people. Like, I got this one cousin, y'all. I don't know if I ever really just spoke about her. I ain't trying to make the video too long, but I'm finna bring this up about this one cousin that, okay, I did something. I say she's tried to help me in my life before, but never. After my mom passed, I asked her could I live with her and stuff like that. But And after I had my baby, you know what I'm saying? I asked her could I live with her, but my dad ended up taking me um, from my grandmother's house at that time. So I ended up not living with her. Um, and so I mean, I can't really say it's been just too many more times that she has helped me, but I just feel like she's the type that, okay, she's a pretty girl, and she got a good job. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I've always had respect for all of my cousins. Everybody who above me, I've always had respect for them, because you got to learn from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or you can teach yourself something. But I was just in I was just on the rock. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know who to learn from, and I didn't know how to teach myself. Like I still just don't know what's best for me, but I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so with her, she's tried to help, but I feel like how family play on people is they'll see people in a situation, they'll know that you're in a situation in a bind, but will only help you if you ask for help. Now, that's not nothing wrong, but to me, if you see somebody struggling and if you feel like you can help them, why not help? Why do I have to come to you and ask you for the help if you see me struggling? Like, she's even like, once my cousin, I had another cousin she did graduate. Me and her the same age. I spoke about her before. But me and her the same age, and she did graduate from high school, whatever. She graduated. And I remember I worked that night. And after I got off work, I went to my cousin's house that I'm talking about. I went to her house, and she was like, now, once you graduate, we'll do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It took me years later to go back to school and get my diploma, but I went back and got my diploma. Pat myself on the back. It took one time for somebody to come to me, another cousin. It took one time for her to come to me and be like, "You need to go back to school." And when she said it, she right, automatically signed up for it. Now, the thing about it, people will give me gems, people will drop gems, people will help me get jobs or whatever, whatever. But I wouldn't say that I just look for people to just baby me. But I do feel like if you help me get a job and I stay on this side of town and the job on this side of town, of course I need some help getting probably back and forth to work. Do I ever call? No. Because I know how some people are. Because they'll help you get the job, but if you ask for a ride, and I had a cousin that worked right down the street from the job that I did, and wouldn't even help me. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, y'all, you know what I'm saying, to even keep talking about everything, you know what I'm saying, that I've been through. And even with people being mad at me today about petty stuff, little stuff that I know I have not done to anybody. Why be in the rooms with these people? Why communicate with these people? These people don't like you. Girl, these people will smile in your face. Matter of fact, not even just smile. They're going to talk about you in your face too. Because they don't want you to feel like I won't even say you. I'm going to say they do not like my growth. They want to keep it like they got their foot on my neck. And why would I keep putting myself in these places? I just don't understand it. I will not. I don't know if y'all can see this, but my little Bible app keep popping up on my screen. But I just will not. I just will not. I refuse to continue to be in places, whether it's family, friends, I ain't got no friends, but if it's family, jobs, whatever, I just refuse to keep belittling myself and to fit in other people places or not standing up, because it's like to the point where I at my last job, you know what I'm saying, I had to leave because certain places, y'all know, people got environments and they be, good in their environment. But the moment that you come in and you trying to, what I'm saying, say what's right or whatever, they want to feel like they know more than you or better than you. No. How many people, y'all, matter of fact, I'm going to say this little one thing. How many people, please let me know, that got friends, people that you call your friend, but you talk about them, and they supposed to be your best friend, and or your cousin that you close to, and all this stuff. That, to me, that is not a relationship. That's not how you operate with people. That's not it at all. Like, how? I don't get that. I don't get that. And like, I got this, I was working, I was my last job, you know what I'm saying, girl, whatever. I ain't gonna get too much into it, but it was just a conversation that we was having. And we both knew, you know what I'm saying, the person was close to the person, but me and, you know what I'm saying, me and her, the boss lady, whatever, we wasn't close, but we was close to the person, you know what I'm saying, that we was giving the advice to. And I was like, I had done said, like, why, like, if you finding out that somebody done said something about you, why like, this supposed to be your friend, and why this person talking about you? Well, she had a different opinion, talking about, we ain't worried about this, somebody talking about her. But y'all supposed to be close? Like, I don't get it. But I guess that's how the world work these days. People working in toxic, they love toxic relationships and stuff like that. I don't operate in toxicity. Y'all know the word. I don't operate like that. I can't do it. I can't do it. I like to be on one page. And honestly, y'all, I would say I am that person. I'm not a toxic person, but I am that person who would probably be quiet and go ghost. But when I do stuff like that, that's because I'm still I still have grief in my life. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. Like, I still don't feel like I've stepped just into that road that God really want me to be in. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find out my purpose in life. Why am I still here? Why he still wake me up every day to, live in this world around these people? You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I can say I don't feel like at this point I have to be in these rooms. Like, I told y'all, I was talking to my aunt about it, and she was like, I was like, I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I really don't feel like I need to go to this party. And she was like, well, you can go with me. I ain't gonna drink, whatever. And I was like, but I don't really feel like I want to be in the room with these people, because these people don't really like me. Like, these people, like, I feel like they've just shown me so much. They've shown me that they will turn their back on me, just like these. They've shown me that. So why do I keep putting myself in places just because you feel like you're close to me, but I don't feel the closeness? I feel like, yeah, we probably had moments where we all went out, enjoyed each other, and had a good time. But at the end of the day, if it came down to it, ain't no telling what it is that you really saying behind my back. Because nobody really gonna say what they really saying. You know what I'm saying? But you wanna, I see and I peep the fakeness. You know what I'm saying? I peep that, and I can feel it. Like, God gave a woman intuition is a real thing. And I really do. And God gave me the gift of peeping when somebody really don't like me, really don't F with me, or really try to, have a conversation with me, you know what I'm saying? And they'll have a conversation in my face, you know what I'm saying, and still talk about me in my face. Like, people do that, you know what I'm saying? They'll go from, hey, how you doing, whatever. But the moment it looked like I'm getting a little shine, They switch because they want me under them. Like for real. Y'all don't understand. I've been in so many places. I've seen this. Nobody wants me to elevate. And I ain't gonna say nobody. But it's a select few. It's a select few. Nobody wants me to elevate. Everybody wants Nikki to stay under them. They want me to be that one. And I ain't never been that one asking for change or asking to hear, hey, can you come? I promise you can't nobody ever say that I called them and asked me. Not even my grandmama. Not even my daddy throughout the years. Can never say that I call and ask for bills. Because y'all, I promise you whatever I had to deal with, I dealt with it myself. I always felt like it was going to be all right. So I never got the nerve to pick up the phone and call anybody. Hey, can you help me do this? No, I never did that. Never. Now, especially when it came to bills. If I needed some furniture moved, probably. But other than that, no bills, no nothing, just major. I never did it. Never. Never. Ever, 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 ever. I ain't never even called nobody and asked them could I live with them. Like, no. You know. Probably my grandmama. You know what I'm saying? But my grandma back in the day, but other than that, I haven't. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, I'm good. I think, like I said, this is my biggest challenge in my life. Is stepping into my purpose and stepping into who I am supposed to be and letting go of these people who just want to judge me, who just want Nikki to stay under them. Because they're at the same time, they'll play on you. They act like it's you, but really no. I can see it. I feel it. I feel the energy. When the moment it look like I'm getting a little shine, you feel uncomfortable. You don't like it. And that's how they got manipulation. They will make it seem like, girl, I ain't like, girl, you lying. You lying. You say you for me, but you ain't. Because my elevation, my growth should not make nobody uncomfortable. Because y'all, I promise y'all, I have always been there for anybody. I clap for everybody. It was never hard for me to walk in nobody's house. It was never hard for me to apologize to nobody. It's never hard for me to do any of that. Because I know where I've came from and I know where I'm trying to go. And where I'm trying to go has everything to do with God and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I promise you, it has everything to do with them. That's why I walked away from my last job. I feel like that's why everything else in the past never worked. Because God, to me, I always felt like I had more and more and more. I felt like Tyson would have been my forever job, but I think I was just thinking because, I was bringing home probably more money than I ever have in a week. And so I was like, okay, this gonna be my job. Child, please. I worked there 2 years. The first year was all right, but that second year, baby, it got tough. It got tough. It got tough. It got tough. And I wouldn't say not only just with the people, with myself, with things that I was going through personally, it got tough. You know what I'm saying? But no shoulder, nobody to lean on. What I turned to was God. And that's been, I say probably 4, 5, because it's with 2026. So it probably been about 4 or 5 years ago since I worked there. And y'all, I promise y'all, when I left that place, I automatically said, God, I'm putting it in your hands. I'm putting it in your hands. I'm putting it in your hands. Even I left that, went to another job, and I felt like I moved too fast because even that job wasn't right. Who I was working for wasn't right. But anytime I got into it with that person or anything happened with that person, now you got the person that's over us. That's if you're gonna learn something or whatever, this the best person to teach you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes situations do get better, but I didn't see it getting better with her. Not with people who wanna be your boss and not be a leader. Like people who don't want you to grow, you can't. You And she was that person that didn't want me to grow. Because honestly, I did have brain and I did want to use it, but a lot of the times I'm like, it ain't no point. Because these people don't want me to grow here. So I had to leave. Now I'm on a path of really just giving it to God and just whatever move that I make, I pray that He be in it with me and He see me through it. Honestly, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. Honestly, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't thought about daycare businesses. I thought about like um driving business. Like I don't thought about different businesses that I could probably get into. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't want to work for nobody. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But if I have to, because I know I want a check coming in, I go ahead. But I want it to be something like a work from home job or something like that. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, really work around too many people. You know. So, y'all know, like I said, I always go this video 30 minutes long. I need to go ahead and get off it. But I always jump around. But I just be the reason why I jump around and tell y'all different scenarios of things in my life because y'all, I promise y'all, when all this stuff been happening to me, I've never been that person to just be malicious toward people. But I have always received the doo-doo end of the stick. Like I've had people to even when they did good by me, they still will turn on me. Still. Without the shadow of a doubt. Without even thinking twice, they turn. As if I just was one of the most nastiest persons. And can't nobody just ever say I just did something so malicious to them. I promise you, I have made my mistakes. But I have never just been the only person that I'm. Like I said, my biggest mistakes was to myself and to my child, and I apologize to her all the time. Like she probably like, "Mama, it's okay," and I'm like, "Girl, I want you to know that Mama's sorry for everything and anything that I did or that I didn't do back in the days. I wasn't thinking. If I had the chance to do it all again, I would. I would redo it. I just hate the dad will have to be the same person. Cause I wouldn't have that child if it went by him. But if I had the chance, I would. I just. But you got to deal with the cards that you're dealt, and it went like I was just in a world just everything was all good. I had already lost my mom like 2 years before I had my child. So probably even a year. Well, no, yeah, 2 years because my mom passed in 2001 and I had my child in 2003. So 2 years later, I had a child, and it just I feel like everything happened for a reason though. My baby girl is good. My baby girl, she living and she got her own apartment with her friend. They got their own ride. They paying their bills. They doing what they supposed to do. They travel when they want to. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they can. They got the group. You know what I'm saying? That they cool with, and that's one thing I love, you know what I'm saying? Find you somebody that you can be close to that you ain't got to worry about falling out with. And if y'all do have issues, you ain't got to worry about them trying to, just be all negative and be straight nasty towards you. You ain't got to worry about that. It's nothing wrong with having issues. But it's a problem when if I got an issue with you, we can't focus on the issue and you got to go for my juggler. Like, we can have a problem with you stepping on my shoe. And we get into an argument about you stepping on my shoe. But then next thing you say is, me, that's why you dumb. That's why you ain't graduate school. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. That's why you a hoe. You sleep with this man. You sleep with like doing all kind of stuff like that. Like to me, all of that is uncalled for if we supposed to be close. If we supposed to be close, we should never get into an argument where it has to go that far. You know. So, y'all, my phone on 5% ain't about to go dead. But I thank y'all once again, you know what I'm saying, for all my subscribers, everybody who listens to my videos, y'all. I promise y'all, no lies in nothing that I'm saying. No lies. You know what I'm saying? This is literally the life that I have been dealt, the things that I have been through. But y'all, I promise y'all, I'm trying to go up. And honestly, one of these days, I promise y'all, I ain't gonna be talking about what I've been through because it gonna be so much. Which I'm living in a blessing right now. I'm living in a blessing right now. Right now, my husband always, why you worry about that? Why you worry about that? I'm your best friend. You ain't got to worry about what them people did or what them people said because he takes care of me. That's one thing I ain't got to worry about. I'm not stressing about if the bill gonna get paid because the bill's gonna get paid. My husband work every day to make sure, but he supporting me to get where I want to go so that we can better each other. And I'm just so happy and so thankful. I'm very thankful. I thank God every day. Even God, way sometimes I may not say it, but He know deep down in my heart. That's exactly not even deep. All through my heart. I'm just very thankful of the Lord, and I'm so thankful for what He has done, and I thank Him for everything that He gonna do. Cause I know it's only up. It's only up. It's only up. Faith without works is dead. So y'all can have all the faith in the world, but you gotta put some motion with it too. So have faith, but give God something that He can work with because the job is not gonna just fall in your lap. The business not just gonna fall in your lap. Nothing is just gonna fall on you. You gotta give Him something to work with. And y'all, I promise y'all, what I'm doing, I want them all up and through it. All up and through it. The good, the bad, the indifferent. But I know at the end of the day, it all gonna work out for my best. So I love y'all. Thank y'all to all my subscribers. Thank y'all over 1,000,000, 100,000,000,000,000, thousand times, gazillion, bazillion, million times. I thank y'all. I thank y'all. I thank y'all. At Dear Diary, this is not the end. But this is, I will see you later. Y'all have an awesome day. Bye-bye.